What is this? She started crying. I'm sorry. I've been lying to you. My heart stopped. About what? She pulled out a second phone. My job at the bank. I wasn't a teller. I was part of something bigger. I'm writing this from a motel room somewhere in Nebraska. I can't tell you exactly where because I'm not even sure it's safe to post this. But I need someone to know the truth in case something happens to us. In case we don't make it. My name is David. I'm 32, and until 4 days ago, I thought I had a normal life. Sarah and I have been married for 7 years. We met when she was fresh out of college, and I was working at an IT consulting firm. She was beautiful, smart, funny, way out of my league, but somehow I convinced her to marry me. We had a good life. Nothing fancy. A small house in the suburbs of Chicago, 2 cars, plans for kids once we saved enough. Sarah worked at First National Bank downtown. She'd been there 5 years, working her way up from teller to senior teller to what she said was an assistant manager position. The pay wasn't great, but it was stable. Combined with my salary, we were comfortable. That's what I thought anyway. The first sign something was wrong came last Thursday. Sarah had been acting strange for about a week. Jumpy, checking her phone constantly, staring out windows like she was waiting for something. When I asked what was wrong, she said it was stress from work. Year-end audits or something. Then Thursday morning, I woke up and she was gone. Her car was gone. Her phone went straight to voicemail. She'd left a note on the kitchen counter. Had to deal with something. Don't call the police. I'll be back. I love you. Don't call the police. What kind of note is that to leave your husband? I called in sick to work and spent the entire day pacing the house, calling her phone every hour. Nothing. I called the bank, trying to be casual. Hey, is Sarah Rodriguez there? She forgot her lunch. Sarah didn't come in today, the receptionist said. She called in sick. By Friday, I was losing my mind. I'd barely slept. I'd called all her friends, her sister in California, even her parents in Texas. Nobody had heard from her. Her sister Maria was ready to fly out. This isn't like her, Maria kept saying. Something's wrong, David. You need to call the police. But that note. Don't call the police. Why would she write that unless calling them would make things worse? Saturday was the worst. By then, I'd convinced myself she was dead or kidnapped, or had run off with someone else. I'd gone through our bank accounts, no activity, credit cards, nothing. It was like she'd vanished off the face of the earth. I was sitting on the couch, Maria on speakerphone telling me I was an idiot for not calling the cops yet, when I heard the garage door open. She's here, I said, hanging up on Maria mid-sentence. Sarah walked in looking like she hadn't slept in days. Her usually perfect hair was a mess, her clothes wrinkled. She was carrying a black duffel bag that looked heavy. Where were you? My voice came out harsher than I intended, a mix of relief and anger. She dropped the duffel bag on the dining table. It landed with a heavy thud, and the zipper partially opened. I could see green inside. Cash, stacks and stacks of cash. Sarah, what is this? She started crying then. Not gentle tears, full-body sobs like I'd never seen from her before. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I've been lying to you. My heart stopped. About what? She pulled out a second phone from her pocket, an iPhone I'd never seen before. My job at the bank, I wasn't a teller. I was part of something bigger. I stared at her, then at the money, then back at her. What are you talking about? She sat down heavily, wiping her eyes. Remember when I got promoted 2 years ago? To assistant manager? Yeah. That wasn't a real promotion. I was recruited for something else. Something illegal. The room felt like it was spinning. Sarah, you're scaring me. What did you do? It started small, she said, not looking at me. They said they needed someone on the inside to help with international wire transfers. Just to look the other way sometimes, approve things without asking too many questions. They paid me $5,000 the first time. Cash, tax-free. They? Who's they? I don't know their real names. The man who recruited me called himself Mr. Chen. Said he represented overseas investors who needed to move money quietly. He said it wasn't really illegal, just gray area stuff, tax optimization. I laughed, but it was hollow. Tax optimization? Sarah, that's money laundering. I know that now. She was crying again. But at first, it seemed harmless. And the money. David, they paid me $5,000 just to approve one wire transfer. That's more than I make in a month. So you kept doing it. She nodded miserably. Once or twice a month at first, then more. By last year, I was processing dozens of transfers. They paid me more each time. I've been putting it in a safe deposit box. I told myself I was doing it for us, for our future, for the kids we want to have. I felt sick. My wife, my straight-laced, rule-following wife, was a money launderer. How much? I asked. How much have you made? About $200,000, she whispered. I stood up so fast the chair fell over. $200,000? Jesus Christ, Sarah. I know it's bad, but that's not why I disappeared. I looked at the duffel bag. Then what's that? 3 days ago, Mr. Chen called me. He said there was a problem. The FBI was sniffing around, asking questions about unusual transfer patterns. He said they were shutting everything down, that everyone needed to disappear. Oh God. He gave me 2 options, run now with what I had, or do one last job, one big one, move $50 million in one shot, and he'd give me a cut, 5%. I did the math. 2.5 million. 2.8 after bonuses, she said quietly. That's what's in the bag. I sat back down, my legs shaky. You stole $50 million. I didn't steal it. I just moved it. From accounts that were probably illegal anyway to other accounts that are also probably illegal. Nobody real got hurt. Nobody real… Sarah, do you hear yourself? You committed federal crimes, multiple federal crimes? The second phone buzzed. We both looked at it like it was a live grenade. Sarah picked it up, her face going pale as she read. What? I asked. She showed me the screen, a text from an unknown number. FBI raid at First National tomorrow, 6 a.m. They have your name. You have 8 hours. Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. I was on my feet again, pacing. We have to go to the police. Turn yourself in. Maybe they'll go easy on you if you cooperate. David, you don't understand. The people I've been working for, they don't let people cooperate with the FBI. The last person who tried to make a deal washed up in Lake Michigan. Are you saying they'll kill you? She didn't answer, which was answer enough. So what do we do? I asked. We run. Tonight. Take the money and disappear. I have fake IDs for both of us, passports, everything. We can be in Mexico by tomorrow night, then somewhere with no extradition treaty by the end of the week. Fake IDs? How long have you been planning this? 6 months. Since I realized how deep I was in. I hoped I'd never have to use them, but… I looked at my wife like I was seeing her for the first time. This wasn't the woman I married. Or maybe it was, and I'd just been too blind to see it. I can't, I said. I can't just run away. My job, my family, our friends. They'll arrest you too, she said quietly. Even if you didn't know. They'll freeze our accounts, take the house, everything. You'll be lucky if you only get a few years as an accessory. But I didn't do anything. You benefited from the proceeds of criminal activity. That vacation to Hawaii last year, the new car, I paid for those with dirty money. In the eyes of the law, you're complicit. I thought about the vacation. How happy we'd been. How I'd asked how we could afford it on our salaries, and she'd said she'd gotten a bonus at work. God, I was an idiot. There has to be another way, I said. There isn't. She stood up, grabbed my hands. David, I know I've ruined everything. I know you probably hate me right now. But I love you. And I don't want you to go to prison because of my mistakes. Please, come with me. I looked into her eyes. Despite everything, I still loved her. That was the worst part. How do I know you're not lying about other things? I asked. How do I know there isn't more you're not telling me? She squeezed my hands. You don't. You have no reason to trust me, but I swear this is everything. The whole truth. The second phone buzzed again. Another text. Chen is cleaning house. Maria Gonzalez didn't make her flight. Don't be next. Who's Maria Gonzalez? I asked. Sarah's face went white. She worked in wire transfers. She was part of this too. She grabbed the phone, typing quickly. When did this happen? Response. 2 hours ago. Parking garage. Made to look like robbery. You have 6 hours now. I felt the blood drain from my face. They're killing everyone involved? Chen doesn't leave loose ends, Sarah said. We need to go. Now. I looked around our house. Our normal, boring, perfect house. Pictures on the walls of our wedding, vacations, family gatherings. A life built on lies, apparently. But still, our life. Pack light, Sarah said, already moving. 1 bag each. Only essentials. We need to dump our regular phones and cars. I have a clean car waiting at a parking garage downtown. You really did plan everything. I had to. I knew this day might come. I went to our bedroom in a daze, throwing clothes into a backpack. My hands were shaking. This wasn't happening. This couldn't be happening. I was a normal guy with a normal life. I did IT support, for Christ's sake. I wasn't a fugitive. But I was about to be. Sarah appeared in the doorway. She'd changed clothes, pulled her hair back, put on glasses I'd never seen before. She looked like a different person. 10 minutes, she said. Then we need to go. Where? I asked. Where do we go? First, we drive to Milwaukee. Separate cars. You take your car, I'll take mine. We dump them there, pick up the clean car, then drive to St. Louis. From there, we fly to Dallas, then to Mexico City. You've really thought this through. I've had nothing but time to think for 3 days, she said. David, I know. A car alarm went off outside. We both froze. Sarah crept to the window, peering through the blinds. Black SUV across the street. That wasn't there before. Could be anyone, I said, but my voice sounded hollow. Could be, but we're not taking chances. She grabbed the duffel bag of money. Back door. Now. We slipped out the back, through our neighbor's yard, to the street behind ours. My car was parked in the driveway, but Sarah steered me away from it. They might have tagged it, she said. We walk to the gas station, call an Uber from there. This is insane, I muttered, but I followed her. The gas station was a mile away, the longest mile of my life. Every car that passed made my heart race. Every person we saw could have been watching us. By the time we got there, I was drenched in sweat despite the cool October air. Sarah used the burner phone to call an Uber. We sat on the curb, the duffel bag between us, looking like any other couple out for the evening, except for the $2.8 million in cash and the fact that we were running for our lives. I'm sorry, Sarah said quietly. I'm so fucking sorry, David. I never meant for it to go this far. Why did you do it? I asked. Really, not the money. Why? She was quiet for so long I thought she wouldn't answer. Then, remember when my dad got sick? The cancer? Yeah. Insurance wouldn't cover the experimental treatment. Said it was too risky, unproven. It cost $100,000 just to get him into the trial. I watched my parents drain their retirement, take out a second mortgage, beg family members for loans, and it didn't matter. He died anyway. Sarah, I swore I'd never be in that position. Never have to choose between money and saving someone I love. So when Chen approached me, when he offered me more money than I'd ever seen, I took it. I told myself it was insurance, security, but somewhere along the way it became something else. It became normal. The Uber arrived, a beat-up Camry with a driver who barely looked at us. Sarah gave him an address in Milwaukee. As we drove away from our life, I thought about all the times I should have noticed something was wrong. The expensive gifts she said were on sale. The weekend trips she took for bank conferences that I now realized were probably money drops. The way she always insisted on handling our finances. What happens when the money runs out? I asked. It won't, she said. Not if we're careful. 2.8 million is enough to live on for decades in the right countries. We can get new identities, real ones. Start over. As who? Doing what? As whoever we want to be. The driver dropped us at a parking garage in Milwaukee. Sarah led me to the 3rd floor, to a plain Honda Civic. Registered to a shell company, she explained, producing keys. Completely clean. We transferred our bags and the money to the new car. Sarah drove. I sat in the passenger seat, watching the city lights pass, trying to process that I was now a fugitive. We should call our families, I said. Tell them. Something. Number any contact puts them in danger. Better if they don't know anything. They'll think we're dead. Maybe that's for the best. We drove in silence for an hour before I spoke again. What about Maria? My sister, not the woman who… you know. She'll be okay. She doesn't know anything, so she's not a threat to anyone. She'll be devastated. She'll be alive. Another hour passed. We stopped for gas, paying cash. Sarah had me go in to pay while she pumped, said it was better if we weren't seen together on cameras. From now on, you're Michael Thompson, she said when I got back, handing me a driver's license with my photo but a different name. I'm Jennifer Thompson. We're married, no kids. You're in sales. I'm a freelance graphic designer. We're driving to St. Louis to visit your mother. You even created backstories? Details matter. If someone asks, we need to have answers. I studied the ID. It looked real. Hell, it probably was real, just obtained through illegal channels like everything else in our new life. So what happens when we get to St. Louis? I asked. We ditch this car, take a bus to the airport. Our flight leaves at 6 a.m. Under these names? Different ones. The Thompsons are just for the road. Jesus, how many identities do you have for us? Enough. We reached St. Louis at 3 a.m. The bus station was nearly empty, just a few homeless people and early travelers. Sarah bought our tickets with cash while I watched the doors, jumping at every shadow. The airport was busier, but that made me feel safer. Harder to spot two people in a crowd. Sarah had us go through security separately, meet at the gate. My new passport said I was Robert Martinez. I tried not to sweat as the TSA agent scanned it. Purpose of travel? He asked. Vacation, I managed. Enjoy Mexico, he said, waving me through. The flight to Dallas was short. Sarah sat 10 rows behind me. We didn't acknowledge each other. In Dallas, we had a 2-hour layover. Sarah found us a quiet corner in an empty gate area. Last chance, she said. You can walk away now. Go back. Tell them I forced you, that you didn't know anything. Maybe they'll believe you. And let you face this alone? No. She kissed me then, fierce and desperate. I don't deserve you. Probably not, I agreed. But we're in this together now. The flight to Mexico City was turbulent. I spent it thinking about everything we were leaving behind. My job, my friends, my family, my entire identity, erased because of choices I didn't even make. But I'd made a choice now, to run, to stay with Sarah despite everything. Maybe that made me an idiot, or maybe it just made me a husband. We landed in Mexico City as the sun was setting. Different terminals, different customs lines, meeting up outside like strangers sharing a cab. The taxi ride to our hotel was quiet. Sarah had booked us a room in a tourist district, paid for a week in advance. Now what? I asked when we were finally alone, the door locked and curtains drawn. Now we lay low for a few days, figure out our next move. The passports I have will get us to a few other countries. We need to pick carefully. Somewhere without extradition. Somewhere we can disappear. I sat on the bed, suddenly exhausted. The adrenaline that had kept me going for the past 24 hours was finally wearing off. Is this our life now? I asked. Running? Looking over our shoulders? Never able to contact anyone we knew? Sarah sat beside me. I don't know. Maybe. Probably. I'm sorry, David. I'm so fucking sorry. Stop apologizing, I said. It's done. We're here. We need to focus on staying alive and free. She leaned against me. Do you hate me? I thought about it. Really thought about it. I should. But no. I'm angry. I'm scared. I'm confused. But I don't hate you. I love you, she whispered. I love you too. God help me. But I do. We sat there in silence. Two fugitives in a cheap hotel room with $2.8 million in cash and no idea what tomorrow would bring. The life we'd known was over. Whatever came next, we'd face it together. Sarah's burner phone buzzed. One new message. First National raided, 17 arrests, you're not on the list. Yet. Stay hidden, we'll contact when safe. See double quote. See? I asked. Chen, or someone working for him. Can we trust him? Sarah laughed, but there was no humor in it. We can't trust anyone. Not anymore. That was 3 days ago. Since then, we've moved hotels twice. Sarah's been working on getting us to Vietnam or Myanmar, somewhere we can blend in and start over. The money is hidden in various places. Some in the hotel safe, some in lockers at the bus station, some buried in a park. We never keep it all in one place. I checked the news obsessively. The FBI raid made headlines. Major money laundering ring busted. 17 bank employees arrested. International crime syndicate dismantled. Sarah's name hasn't appeared yet, but we know it's only a matter of time. Maria, my sister, has called my old phone 47 times according to the tracker app I can still access. I want desperately to tell her I'm okay, but I can't. Sarah's right. Contact would only put her in danger. So we wait. We plan. We try to figure out how to build a life when you can't use your real name, can't access your bank accounts, can't go home. It's harder than the movies make it look. Sometimes I wake up and forget where I am. I reach for Sarah and panic when she's not there, then remember she's just gone to get breakfast or check alternate routes out of the city. The paranoia is exhausting. Every police siren makes us freeze. Every knock on the door could be the end. But we're still here. Still free. Still together. I don't know what the future holds. Maybe we'll make it to Southeast Asia and disappear into some expat community. Maybe we'll get caught tomorrow. Maybe Chen will decide we're loose ends that need tying up. All I know is that my wife disappeared for 3 days and came back with $2.8 million. And now I'm disappearing too.